My name is Caitlin, and I'm from California. I go to school at California State University, Fullerton.
Oh, yeah, there's a big controversy happening there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm well aware of it.
And so obviously a lot of my friends are super liberal, and I live in a sorority house with a lot of girls who are super liberal, and one of them in particular is has a nihilistic worldview, atheist, super liberal. And how do I go about that, like trying to help her or combat that without still having to live with her as a roommate?
It's a great question. So all of you are going to encounter nihilists at some point in your life. You probably already have, where there is no God. We're all just a clump of cells. Everything here is an accident. Why even be here? It's just a very dark, very hedonistic type view eventually, because then why not just stuff myself with all these substances? It's really a dangerous thing to believe. Number one, let's just talk about atheism really quick. And if there's any atheists here, by the way, God bless you. Thank you for being here. Exactly. So thank you for being here. So, and no, I mean that, because I don't view atheists or people that are secular as the obstacle. I think of you as the opportunity. I want to be in heaven with you one day, and I pray that you will be. So that's the first thing is this, is that light will always triumph darkness. And when dealing with atheists, there's a couple just logical imperfections in their worldview that I'm going to give you a couple hard wires right now. I'm going to give you a couple cheat codes. You ready? So here's a couple cheat codes for atheism. They're going to say there's no such thing as absolute truth, right? That's one of their big things. Then say, do you believe that absolutely? I mean, if there's no such thing as absolute truth, then what you just said might not be absolutely true. Then you're believing something that might actually not be true. Which they're not, which they are. So that's the first thing. The second thing, and this really kind of drives them nuts, I wouldn't recommend using this, by the way, is that without God, there would be no atheists. Like, that really drives them out of control. And I mean, whatever. So the other thing is this is, when you're trying to talk to a nihilistic person, I think that, and there's a lot of different ways to go about it, but there's one thing they can't answer. You ready for it? Here's the cheat code. The social Darwinists that believe that in Darwinism, there's one thing that always gets them confused. It's music. What is music? Now, they will say that music came from songbirds. Like, no, that's noise. What is music? Why do certain pieces of music make you cry? Why do certain pieces of music make you feel something that you just can't quite articulate? Why does some music sound better than others? Because we believe, those of us that believe in God, that music is something that is extra spiritual. It's actually a connection to a higher power. That's why the longest book in the Bible is literally songs, psalms. The last chapter of the book of Psalms is about using trumpets and using instruments to glorify God. They can't explain music. They also can't explain beauty. Ask them, is there anything in this world that is beautiful? Go drive to Malibu and say, let's look at the sunset. Is that beautiful? Yes. Why? Why is it that when human beings see an open ocean, we all agree there's something good about this? It's because we all have hardwired in us a yearning to desire the good and reject the bad. A size in our heart that only God can fill. Even the nihilists will admit this when they're confronted with it, and they don't have an answer for it. And so my advice to you, maybe you'll play Mozart, maybe something like that, and you listen to that music, and all of us will agree there's something so sweet and harmonious about this. And those of us that believe in the Bible, we can explain it, right? We know what that is, because we use music as a way to glorify God. That is why all of the great conductors and all of the great all the great individuals of Mozart and Bach and all of them, they all said on the top of their music, glory be to God, always, because what they were doing to try to glorify God, always. So I could go a lot deeper into that. But my advice to you is don't look at her as how am I going to live with her. Instead, say how I'm going to live forever with her. How do I bring her to heaven? That's my advice to you with her, okay?